Hey everybody and welcome back to Igniskidd. I went to regionals with a experimental speed rate list for an upcoming video. Beware, it's gonna be a banger. But yeah, at the same time I managed to secure an almighty interview with the one and only Julian Beltrame, who went second with Maliss, a hugely popular list this format. So I thought, hey, why not ask him for a deck profile, and he delivered. Thank you again very much to Julian and his insight into Maliss. So, be it if you want to play Maliss, or if you are preparing to play against Maliss, this is sure to give you some insights into one of the winning strategies of the format. Enjoy!
Hey guys, now for the card by card, I play 3 Dormouse. Of course, it's the best normal summon in the deck. She helps you push through with OTKs. She's a 1-card combo, the opponent has to stop it. I think it's pretty mandatory to play this. Then of course 3 White Rabbit. It's always the card you want to banish via Dormouse. She comes back, she sets you any trap I want. One thing I learned is in your first turn you always want to go for TB11, but when you're second, I think most of the times GWC, the Reborn trap, is better. Then for the last time I only play 1 cat. I want to play the deck pure, but I think cat is still a hard break. If I draw 2 normal summons, I can Dormouse, banish cat, cat comes back, banish rabbit. Or if I draw like any combinations of those 2, I can cat, banish mouse, mouse comes back, banish rabbit. Those 2 I can cat, banish rabbit, rabbit comes back, gets TB11 to get access for the 3rd lane. Then for the one-off Cybers monsters, I play of course the one-off Dotscaper. You need him in the combo, don't have to explain it very much. I play 1 Code of Soul. I still think Code of Soul is a nice card, because he's an extender, even under Lancia. And you have the Graveyard effect, which helps you dodge cards like Impermanence, maybe like the Detonator. If they Slayer you, you can maybe Chain Trap, Chain Code of Soul, so to dodge the Slayer. And you can do neat stuff like that. Also, one thing I did is like my opponent wanted to take control. I think it was enemy controller, one of my Maliss monsters. Then I had Code of Soul Engrave. I could dodge his card, so he tributed 1 monster. He used the dead spell, so he basically went -2, and I got my Hearts of Cryptor, which I wanted anyways. One thing about Code of Soul is we play the Link 5 terahertz, but you most of the time do not want to send the Code of Soul. I just have him in there. He's a nice extender, and especially he's a nice extender under Lancia, which you can use. For the last one, I also play 1 Template Skipper. The reason for that is, if you draw multiple from those 8s, you most of the time want to like extend or get another one out. So if let's say you draw a Dotscaper, which you never want, and you also have a Template Skipper, you can always banish those also from your hand. They come back and you have your full Maliss combo and the Dotscaper, which is nice. If you draw, of course, let's say multiple of those, you start with normal summon Dormouse, she gets permanent, you can special summon Template Skipper, banish your White Rabbit, my White Rabbit comes back, and you still have your entire combo. Then for the Maliss field spells, we play 3 field spells and 1 terraforming. He's a very nice extender. He helps you in your turn 3, and you can, if you draw 1 and you search one with Red Ransom, you can still banish it with Cat for the draw 2. If you draw any of those 2, you can very greedy just banish this field spell with the Cat effect, draw 2. If your opponent thinks, hey, now he can't extend through Nibiru, he Nibirus you. Then you say, okay, it's fine, go Link Spider, special template, banish your White Binder comes back. You have your 5 bodies, you have your Link 5 again, White Binder draws you a card, and suddenly you still have under Nibiru your entire combo. That's also a very nice reason why we play Template Skipper. For the one-off spells, I play 1 Gold Czar. I think it's mandatory still. 1 Caught by the Grave is a very good card, why not? I only play 1 talent, and one silent mining. So I think those two, we can understand why we play those through hand traps, to as extenders. Now for those two, the reason why I play only one talent is because right now we have a lot of builds which also go for board breakers, and maybe they only play Dominus Impulse and Permanent. And many times I played two of those in the past, and I just drew one, and I always had to say, hey, I can't use it. Silent mining, it has a similar idea. The idea is, hey, I played two of those. So many times I just draw two. It was kind of annoying. It's nice because we also play the Fuvalos, so we can still pitch our dead cards. Maybe we draw the Dotscape, we can pitch it, whatever, it doesn't really matter. I get the extender mostly for the template or for the Code of Soul, depending on how much I can still do. Of course, it's also a starter. And the reason why I play a silent mining instead of a second template skipper or a second Code of Soul or maybe an EMP. First of all, we can also search the Maliss spells or monsters, sorry. And second of all, it's still a spell, so you can still set it, normal summon Dormouse, and maybe to like blast through your Maliss cards. If they still impermanence you can say whatever. We have silent mining, it's the best extender you could possibly have. You can search whatever you want in this situation. If you draw a second normal summon, you can just pitch the second normal summon. It's nice, but I think at 2 it's mostly too bad. Yeah. For talent, I thought like, hey, I was really fighting if I should play 1 or 2. In the end I said, hey, I play the 1 template skipper and I play 3 thrust in the side anyways, so I can always search it if I go second, so it's fine. Then for the Maliss traps, of course we play everyone as 1-off. I was testing a bit with the TB11 as a 2-off, but in the end it wasn't that bad, but it was also like, hey, when I go second I set the trap because I most of the times draw one, and in the end it's like, hey, it's nice to have, but I would prefer if it was a hand trap, especially when I go second. Then for my hand traps lineups, I play of course 3 Ash Blossom. Yeah, this one I was fighting with it if I should play it, but in the end my argument was, hey, I want something against Fuvalos. And yeah, it's not that great, this format, it's just alrightish, but yeah, against Fuvalos, it's another reason why to play it. Then for the Bestials, we play of course the 1 of Magnamut, mandatory, the 2 Druid's Worm, and the 1 Baldrake. So the reason why I decided to play this is, we have Rysil right now, the best deck. Pure Rysil, Bestials are not that great against it. Hey, maybe if they send the Twins of the Eclipse, you can bench the Detonator, you out the second Detonator, which are 2 pops. If you play against Rysil Fiendsmith, you can like Bestial any of the Fiendsmith cards and it's great. Against, let's say, Rysil Mitsurugi, in your turn they want to tribute the ritual monster to come back and nuke your board. You just chain a Bestial, you banish their Mitsurugi card, and suddenly they have a 3k body less, you have a big body more, and it's just great to have. So when you're going first, they are also all very nice to draw. Of course, Magnamut, self-explanatory. Baldrake, I think as well, you can use it in your opponent turn as extender, and suddenly you have to banish more. Druid's Worm, I don't think I have to explain. Ascend 1 is incredible, especially with the Code of Soul. You get just this Send 1, you go into Hearts of Cryptor, which is also a banish 1 just for free. It's insane. The idea is, when you go Bestials and you're first, you don't go into Haggard Lizardos, but instead you go for SP Little Knight. You banish like this your Malice card, it comes back. Then when you, let's say you end with a Druid's Worm, what you can do is you use Cat Effect, banish your field spell from your hand, you draw 2 cards. Then you build your Link 5. Then you go for Druid's Worm, you banish your own White Binder. White Binder comes back, you draw another card, so you drew 3 cards right now. Then you can go into Lizardos after that, Lizardo's effect, banish himself to decrease your terahertz attack for a small amount, which doesn't really matter, in the end phase it's back up. But because you banish the reptile monster, you can draw another card. So you draw 4 cards in a deck where usually you don't draw cards, which is like insane. And as you can see, I play 20 hand traps. You draw 4 cards, it's, let's say, 2 hand traps, surely. So yeah, it's insane. You draw, you trade 1 interaction for 2 interactions, at least. Insane. The reason why I do not play more of them is very simple. I don't want to draw anymore. So many times I already drew 2 of them, which is like, it's not bad, don't get me wrong. But so many times I was just like, hey, I think another hand trap right now would be better. Of course, they are also insane when you want to extend in your own turn. But I think, hey, my goal right now is to stop my opponent with hand traps and just have a big terahertz which is there. I have enough extenders, and there are also extenders. In my opinion, they're not really hand traps. So yeah, 7 extenders right now is enough. I don't think I need any more. Especially they also die during Lancia, so then I have that card in my hand. Then, of course, the 3 Nibiru's. They came insane, and I mean insane this weekend. Whenever you see Nibiru plus another hand trap, you know, okay, it's insane. You win this. Then, 3 Impulse. Of course, those 2 conflict, but you can always Nibiru first, Impulse later. You're good. You're really good to go. One big thing about Nibiru is the fact, not that it has 3k attack, but the fact that you have a body in your turn. So you can just normal summon a Maliss. You don't care if it gets negated or not. Then you go into Haggard Lizardos, or maybe even an SP Little Knight. You banish your Maliss name, and suddenly you have full combo again, just because you have a random body. Then together with Impulse, we also have to play Impermanent. I think it's mandatory. Impermanent, very good card right now. You play against Talent. You can use it if you draw it for turn. You can negate the Detonator. Really great. Then, of course, for my last hand trap, I was fighting, okay, should I maybe play Bestials? Should I maybe play some more extenders? Should I maybe play Dimension Shifter? I was playing Dimension Shifter for a long time, but then I decided, hey, I'd rather just play Fuvolos instead. So the reason why I play Fuvolos is very simple. I can discard it when I go first with Terahertz, or rather with the Pact Pit. If you don't remember what he does, he basically says when he's sent to the graveyard, discard 1 card, target 1 face-up monster on the field, place it as continuous trap face down in the owner's spell trap. So we can discard the Fuvolos if we don't want it, and yeah, it's a great card. This entire weekend, 7 rounds, I only won I actually won 3 die rolls, and at my very first die roll I started, I drew Gold Sark, Nibiru, Impermanence, double Fuvolos. So at this point I was just telling myself, hey, I have double Fuvolos, I have Imperm Nibiru, I can just pause. I don't care what deck my opponent is on, I drop one Nibiru, Fuvolos in the draw phase, he call buys it, I chain the other, I draw some cards, I drop a Nibiru, I have this additional body, I still have my Imperm in my hand, which I can still use. Insane. Draw for turn, I drew a Bestial, I drew a Chessy Cat, and even though Chessy Cat does nothing, it's just this one body I needed together with Nibiru to just get full combo. So yeah, Fuvolos, a great card, we can discard it whenever. The big reason why I decided to go Terahertz instead of the Abawa Kui together with the Nightmare Griffin combo is very simple. It's those 4 right here. Let's say you play Nightmare Griffin, your opponent has just 1 Bestial and he Bestials your, your big Griffin. Suddenly your end board is not that great anymore. You have, let's say you reborn your Item Masquerina, you have your Abaoa Kui, you have your Malice trap face down, but in the end I say, hey, I have a Druid Worm. what are you gonna do? I have a ball drake. What are you gonna do? I don't care about your endboard anymore. I just overrun you with everything I have. That's why I decided to go for the Link 5 instead. An additional reason is also because I like playing Shifter, and Shifter is very good against those Nightmare Griffin decks, because hey, they can't reborn it, and yeah. Also, most of the times I think Maliss players don't know even what to do under Shifter. It's also one thing I noticed. It was very fun. Then for the extra deck. Of course, the one of Lingeribo, I don't think I have to explain it. In the mirror match, insane, you just normal summon for Lingeribo and suddenly you have a trap negate for the banish trap. The one of Link Decoder, both Link 1s, mandatory. Also Link Spider, insane. The reason why we play Link Spider, of course, is if you want to extend through Nibiru, you need the Link Spider. Also, we see, hey, we can just greedy banish with the cat, the field spell. If we get the template skipper, we still have our two bodies. So we basically tell our opponents, hey, go on, Nibiru us, and we still have full combo. So we put them in a false sense of security because they think, hey, they don't have the field spell anymore, we can just Nibiru them. This is why, this is also insane why the extenders are very nice to have. Then, Lizardos, of course, insane card. Splash Mage, mandatory, especially if you get Nibiru'd. And SP Little Knight, also insane. I think I've explained those two before. If I have a Bestial in the hand, go for SP Little Knight, bench your Maliss name. Then later in the combo, hey, you just go Bestial or Template Skipper, banish your White Binder comes back, draw a card, you go Lizardos, draw another. So it's basically a draw tool when you draw a Bestial or a Template Skipper. Then for the Maliss Link monsters, of course, everyone just one off, you don't need any more. Really don't need any more. The worst thing that can happen is if they banish one of them face down. But even then, Terahertz can still win you the game without the problem. Also, one thing, I just leave with this right here. The reason why I left this here is because herself is no decay with Dormouse. 3100 attack, directly banish her, she comes back, 5000 attack again, it's game. Then, for the other two, of course, one Xcode Talker, it's mandatory to build this always with a Maliss Link 3, mostly Red Ransom. You play also the, let's say, Link Decoder, banish Red Ransom, pop something, banish the, let's say, Splash Mage, or Link Spider, or Haggard Lizardos, you have another pop, and 5-3, then Red Ransom comes back, she also gets you like Dotscaper for additional combo if you somehow do not kill him, and she has then 2900 because yeah, Dormouse pushes, it's insane this card, it's also a kill. Terahertz, of course, we can never forget it, even if you're second. So one neat thing people forget is Lizardos reduces attack points. That means not only from your cards but also from your opponent cards. So what I did is I reduced his Nightmare Griffin down to 900 attack by benching Dormouse. I could do my combo. Then I went for okay and climbed into Terahertz. My opponent had, what was it, I think 6400 HP. Terahertz effect, I sent a Pack Bit effect, I put down his Red Ransom. So then I attacked with 5500 attack points into his White Binder, and because he had no more Maliss cards, I can just 5000 attack points into his 1000 attack points Nightmare Griffin, and then it was game. So people underestimate this card, he is insane. He's also an auto win against random decks like Tempai, let's say against Fire King, because hey, they can't use their effects in the battle phase. Don't forget this. If you want to play again around Bestials, just go Terahertz, say battle phase. They can't use their effects in the battle phase, and he is essentially 11 points of attack which can attack So that's insane, let's be honest. It's really insane. One thing, if you go first, you mostly send your spell trap negate. Then in your opponent turn you can send Pack Bit or Code of Soul. And then back in your turn you can also send the other guy. So he's now 3 attributes and he has 10,500 attack points. I can attack 3 times, so good luck surviving that. Yeah. Of course I show Terahertz, so I can also show these 3 again. Aggregator, to be honest with you, is a bad card. You don't really want to send it. You most of the time want to send Pack Bit. The reason why we play Aggregator is very simple. We have Ultimate Savior in the side deck, and in some niche situations you could also say, okay, let's just get 2 spell trap negates instead of spell trap negate and a monster. Like, it's alright, it's Aggregator, whatever. But yeah, most of the time Pack Bit or just send the Code of Soul, it's better. Then for my last card in my extra deck, many people do not consider playing this, but it's Transcode Talker. So for those who don't know, Transcode Talker reborns a Cyber's Link monster, but you're locked for the entire turn into Cyber's monsters. The reason why we play this is very simple. Let's say we have an extender plus a Maliss monster, or we just have a Dotscaper. So the plan is very simple. Let's say we start with normal summon Maliss monster effect, they launch us. We can go Link 1 into Lingeribo, special template, Link 2 into Splash Mage effect, reborn template, template Link 1 into Link Decoder. Here we can Link 3 into Transcode, then Link Decoder will reborn himself, Transcode can reborn something else, and as you can see, thanks to Transcode, we still have the Terahertz. It's insane to have, and still under Lancia we still have like our end board. Of course, yeah, we don't have the Maliss part, unlucky, but hey, you can't have it all, let's be honest. Then let's say if we just draw Dotscaper and our opponent like draw face Lancias us. Like, we could start with White Rabbit, but we say, hey, we have Dotscaper, so let's just use it. Go Dotscaper, Link 1 into Lingeribo, he comes back, again, Link 2 into Splash Mage, reborn, Link 1, Link 3, reborn, and we still have our level 5 with just 1 Dotscaper. That's like nice to have, yeah, it's very great. Also, I started once with just Dotscaper in hand. I was second Dotscaper, my Silent Mining. So in the end, what I did was just Silent Mining, pitch Dotscaper, he asked my Silent Mining, Dotscaper came back, Lingeribo. I did this entire combo and suddenly I just have a Terahertz on my board. You didn't expect it. So in the end, and the thing is, he has to respond here. If I say end of main, he has to do something, because else he can't respond with monster effects in the battle phase. And as we see, Terahertz alone is mostly an OTK. Let's say you have a Bestial in your hand, you can just special summon him out. He can't stop it, because he can't respond thanks to Terahertz. Yeah. Then to the side deck. I play 3 Perulias. The hardest matchup is still Ryziel. There's nothing changed about that one. Yeah. Perulia, very nice card against Ryziel. Against the Fiendsmith, we have so many hand traps. In my opinion, it's not that big of a problem. Of course, you might draw bad. Unlucky, happens. We have Fuvalos, we have Nibiru. Okay, Nibiru is not that great, to be honest. We still have Impulse, so yeah. You just need 2 hand traps mostly with 20 cards. It should be happening. Then against the Maliss Mirror, of course, 3 Lancia. Insane, you need it. Just one thing we have to take care of is, let's say you play a Maliss Mirror match and it's game 3, you start, you hard draw Lancia. So let's say you can do your entire combo. Just don't shotgun Lancea. You need to resolve your white binder, banish your stuff, and you want your banish trap in grave. You want your spell trap negate in the grave, which is still live. You want maybe your Code of Soul. So just think about it. Maybe do your interactions a bit earlier so you can throw your Lancea later. Then, of course, the 3 of Shifter. Shifter, great card. Really great card. As I said, many Maliss players for once do not know what to do under Dimension Shifter. They always know, okay, yeah, my stuff come back, but in the end, they never thought about, hey, what's my end board gonna be? Because you can't just simply go Abawa, Kui, Reborn, Nightmare Griffin. It just doesn't work anymore because suddenly your Nightmare Griffin gets banished. And stuff like that. People just really don't think about it. Another nice thing is against Ryzeal. Let's say they start with normal summon Ice. You Impermiss. The only way how they can, I mean the really only way how they can extend is by hard drawing their sword. And in builds like with Mitsurugi, they only play one sword. So hard draw it, because else you cannot extend. Okay, Mitsurugi, they actually can. They need to draw like the ritual spell plus the ritual monster, which is like, good luck doing that. Fun fact, I lost the only game I lost because of this, because my opponent had Lancea, his Ice, which he hard drew, and of course his only sword, which was his own extender. He can't extend with X, he can't extend with Ice. Unlucky. But hey, that's Yu-Gi-Oh, let's be honest. Then for the spell, I already said it, I played 3 Thrust. The reason is very simple. Hey, we have so many one-off spells, and it's like a great card going first, it's a great card going second. I have to say, most of the times when I drew Thrust, my opponent just didn't hand trap me. So I had like this dead card in hand, which wasn't that bad. I could still discard it, but yeah, whatever. It's still great, especially when you're second, because as I already said, I played the one-off Slayer. You can send the big, what's it called, the Aggregator, spin back the Detonator, the Aggregator effect, negate his Ryzeal field spell, and with one card, you basically outed his entire board. So yeah, let's go. Yeah. Then when you play Thrust, well, you always have to think, okay, how do I side? Because what I do instead of taking out the terraforming, which I think most of the guys do, you take out the field spell, because hey, you have suddenly a Thrust which is the terraforming. The gold sword, we keep it. The talents, of course, we keep it. I mostly take the Code of Soul out and keep the template skipper so I can still search it, or if I have to side too many cards, I also take out the silent mining and the template skipper. So yeah, you have always to think about it, but in the end, all those one-off spells together with the Thrust, it's nice. Then for the last 2 cards, of course, 1 D-Barrier, I don't think I have to explain it. D-Barrier, Thrust against Ryzeal, it's very nice. Sanctum against Maliss, you get the Lancea, which also very nice. This card is the reason why I did not decide to cut Impulse. I was like thinking about, hey, what can Impulse do for me? Then the more I think about it, you can use it very nice to go first. When you get Food for Lost, it's still a hand trap which you can keep in your hand, because of course I got Food for Lost a lot of times, so my end board was just my Link 5 guy, my set GWC, I kept the Impulse in hand, so my opponent had to discard until he had 8 cards. Okay, you think 8 cards, that should be way too much? No, it's not. When you have your entire Maliss line, plus you have like 5 cards in hand, you have the Cat draw, and you have the Haggard Lizardos draw, so suddenly you also draw 4 cards. So you have also like 6 cards in your hand, or maybe 5. Your opponent has 8. You have, from those 5 cards, at least 4 of them are hand traps. So you have your entire Maliss line, your 4 hand traps, plus your Terahertz, which is also 2 interactions, and Trust me, they're not gonna break this, even with 8 cards in their hand. Yeah. Then, this was my deck profile. Thank you for having me, and till next time.